going to give a speech entitled Hiking Accessories. Ken, along with his wife Arlinda, have been hiking for fun and exercise since last March. They have both given us delightful accounts of their hobby. Today, Ken will tell us about the value of the accessories they take on their hikes. Please help me welcome Ken Smith with Hiking Accessories. Hiking Accessories, Ken Smith.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters. Hiking is a lot of fun, but that is not why we started buying accessories. We actually had the idea of getting into the hobby of bird watching. So we studied online the things we would need, and camouflage is helpful because if the birds see you, they don't just pose, they usually fly away. And then blinds, something to blind your eye, a cap with a visor on it, helps cover the fact that you're looking at them, because they're not afraid if you're looking away, but they can see if you're looking at them. So we started buying some things for bird watching, and then we went out to do our first bird watch, and we went over to the Carquinez Strait Regional Park and found a nice hill, wooded hill to hike up, and we kept stopping and waiting, and no birds would come by, so we'd hike some more, and no birds would come by. We finally got to the top, and we had to find some sticks to use as hiking sticks, branches along the way to make it up that hill. And we finally realized when we got to the top that we enjoyed the hiking, not sitting waiting for birds to come by, because they didn't. And from that point forward, we started looking into developing a hobby of hiking. Well, where could we hike? We didn't want to always hike at that one place, so we started studying all the potential hiking trails all over. And there are more. We now hike when the weather's good, 2 days every week. She's off Sunday and Monday, we hike Sunday and Monday. We go to, sometimes we go back to a familiar place because that's what she likes. I like to find new places that will become favorites. So I keep plotting out new ones. We've gone to Mount Tamalpais, hiked for 3 days up there. We've gone to Tilden several times. Briones quite frequently because it's close by, and there are a lot of hiking trails in Briones. And other regional parks. There are actually parks run by different water districts, such as Briones, or I'm sorry, the reservoir areas. There is Bear Creek hiking trail going the other direction from Briones toward Orinda. And that's run by the East Bay Municipal Utilities District. There are regional parks like Briones. There are city parks, some in Martinez. We live in Martinez. There are state parks like Mount Diablo. We've taken 2 hikes up Diablo. And we've learned different things along the way, and some of them are the accessories we would need. Of course, from that first hike, we knew we needed hiking sticks. So we went on the internet and found from the Bear Trading Company, the Bear hiking sticks that we purchased. They actually come with different kinds of heads, but we have been calling ourselves Mama Bear and Papa Bear ever since we got together, and the little daughter was Baby Bear, and that stuck. So we are bear hikers. Now, a hiking stick is very useful. Of course, you can hike with it, giving you kind of a third leg to help add, take away from some of the effort your legs are doing, something I need quite a bit of. But it's also good for fighting off lions and tigers and bears, and batting away flies. Another accessory we learned very early we needed was some off to keep the bugs down. Sprayers. We generally hike early in the morning before it gets too hot, and we like to spray off first and then avoid all the bugs from doing anything but buzzing near our ears. When we hiked up Diablo, found several other useful things for this. We took a wrong turn and went down a a lesser used trail, and there were landslides along it. And these were real good for digging in to walk over the loose dirt of the landslides. It's also excellent if you ever get stuck in the woods to use as a pole to make a lean-to, put a tarp over it. You can use kind of a rowing motion as you're hiking. So there are a lot of different ways you can use the hiking stick. You should also have other supplies, for example, snacks. We found this very useful when we went to Mount Tamalpais. The backside was run by, the north side was run by the Marin Municipal Water District. And there was an excellent hiking trail there called Cataract Falls Trail. It's a very steep climb. In fact, probably close to half of the climb, they built them as steps because it was too steep to climb up otherwise. Foolishly, we decided not to just go up it and come back, but go up it and then go across the ridge and then down to the lake and then back up again. It took us 6.5 hours. We needed our snacks. So we always carry chew bars and beef jerky and trail mix and apples, and that took us through it. We also have to carry the refreshments. Now, one bottle was sufficient in most cases, and that's why we got a pack with only one bottle holder, because when we began our birding, we also bought camera binoculars, camnoculars I call them. So when we saw a bird, we could take a picture of it. We don't ever take these out. It was a wasted investment. But a second bottle of water can be really useful because, as it turned out, the hottest day of last summer, we did the Eagle Peak Mount Diablo Trail. And by the time we got to Eagle Peak, I had finished my bottle of water and Arlinda's bottle of water, and still had the same length of time to return. That turned out to be a 7.5-hour hike, half of which totally dehydrated, and that's partly why it was 7.5 hours, because I could only go maybe 20, 30 feet at a time and have to stop and rest. We prayed for water. The problem is, when you pray, you've got to be very specific. We didn't say drinking water. So God led us to a horse trough full of water and bees and all kinds of other things, but it's very clearly marked non-potable water. Do not drink this, it's for livestock only. So we had to continue hiking and hiking, and finally a group of young ladies came by and we begged, and one of them finally let us each have one sip from her water. But they had a long hike left to go on their own, and they couldn't give up too much. But they also told us about a spring downstream, or down the trail, about a mile down the trail. So that kept us going. You know, I had to keep stopping, we kept repeating, and then we finally got to it. And actually, because it was late in summer and a very hot day, there was a spring that only went about maybe 30 feet before it either soaked back in or evaporated or something, but it was clear, clean, flowing spring water for that short length of distance. And so we were able to drink and fill our bottles back up and then make it the rest of the way. So thank you. I don't recommend this I recommend this as a way of getting away from the hoi polloi, unless you happen to go to a trail that is very popular. We found when we went to Lafayette Reservoir, it was wall-to-wall people all the way around the trail. But there are many hiking trails, and there are so many that if we hiked 2 days every week for the rest of our lives, we could not hit all the ones in a 60-mile radius of the Bay Area. That's your Toastmaster.